Here's my review of the 2025 Tecnifibre TFight 300S, their 98 square inch frame with 1619 pattern. The glossy white cosmetics with French color stripes looks really nice in person. I consider it to be one of the better looking frames out there, but how does it play? Honestly, I struggle with this frame in stock form. I'll list the spec for my copy right here. The racket is very powerful, came in pretty light and maneuverable, but lacks the weight in the hoop. The sweet spot feels pretty small for a 98, especially towards the higher part of the hoop, where I make contact most of the time. It also led to a lot of inconsistencies. When I strike lower in the string bed, the racket has a lot of power and pop, but the string bed really dies off at higher contact points, leading to a lot of balls landing short. I really felt like adding weight at 12 o'clock was necessary to make it playable for me. With so many rackets out there being great at stock form, I'm really not a fan of having a racket that you need customization to play well. Off the ground, this racket is a lot stiffer and more powerful than I expected. Because of the narrow spin window and the pretty short drop time due to the stiffness, I don't feel like I'm getting enough spin and bite off the ball to control the power of this frame. I really had to string it with very low power polys at higher tensions than normal to gain enough control of the frame. And my favorite so far is the Razor Soft from Tecnifibre at 53 pounds. With a stiffer layup and a less dampening technology, this racket does provide a very direct connection to the ball, and it's pretty rewarding when you're striking it clean. However, it's definitely a lot less comfortable than most 98 rackets out there. After customization, I enjoy this racket most when I'm playing really well. When I'm able to attack and dictate the points, this racket gives me a lot of power to push my opponent back on both the forehand and backhand side. Even my hitting partner let me know that he was struggling against my balls that day. Slices feel surprisingly good, but on defense or on days where I'm not moving or playing the best, this racket doesn't give me a lot of help and really can make me feel worse about myself. Serving is pretty good with some weight at 12 o'clock. I'm getting a lot of power and pop from my first serve, and my second serve feels pretty heavy for my opponent. No complaints there. Returning is average. It's pretty maneuverable, but I don't find the most control or consistency in the string bed to feel the most confident. Another potential deal breaker is the Tecnifibre grip shape being so different than every other brand, which might have contributed to the inconsistencies I've experienced due to racket face control lacking. In summary, I find the new TFight 300S to be a rather stiff and powerful 98 with a rather unpredictable string bed. Very advanced players with high racket head speed and clean timing might be able to take more advantage of the power and rewarding raw sensation offered in this frame. Actually, I find it the most similar to the Pure Drive 98 out of any frame I've tested, and I think most people will find more stability and predictability and thus control in the Pure Drive 98 over the TFight 300S. For those reasons, it's an interesting demo, but I would struggle to recommend this to a lot of people.